For years, you may have brought this into your home without realizing you were opening a silent invitation to scarcity, sorrow, and even illness. If you've ever felt your home's energy shift after a loss, say yes in the comments below. Your story might help someone else protect their own space too. I know it sounds a little far-fetched, but it's more common than you think. There's an object, simple, elegant, seemingly harmless, that thousands of people, especially women, keep in their homes. Without realizing it, carries the frequency of loss, emptiness, and death. And today, you'll discover why the ancient masters of the East would never allow this item to cross the threshold of a home. Because a funeral doesn't end at the cemetery. It ends when the energy is cleansed. But most people forget that. And in that forgetting, danger hides. Between the world of the living and the world of the dead, there's an invisible pause, a moment when time seems suspended, the air grows heavy, and silence hums like a whisper. Have you ever felt it? That sudden chill down your spine, that lingering scent that refuses to fade even with every window open, that eerie feeling as if someone stayed behind even after they were gone. Those signs aren't coincidence. They're traces, echoes of something that came back with you. And that's where it all begins. A single object can become a portal, draining your vitality, blocking abundance, muting joy, and turning your home into a stagnant, cold, lifeless space. My name is Master Lin. For over 30 years, I've studied the flow of energy in living spaces and the invisible effects certain objects have on our lives. What I'm about to share with you is something few dare to say out loud. The most common mistake people make after a funeral, and how it can destroy your spiritual balance without you even noticing. But before I tell you what this object is, you need to understand how to neutralize its energy. Because the real danger isn't what it looks like. It's what it silently awakens. Now, take a deep breath. Look around you. Feel the energy of your home. And be honest with yourself. Has it been the same since your last goodbye? If not, maybe this video found you for a reason. Have you ever noticed how, during some funerals, the air seems to stop moving, as if time itself hesitates? The incense rises in slow spirals. The sound of bells blends with prayers, and for a brief moment, the visible and invisible worlds seem to touch. It was in one of those moments that I learned the lesson that changed my life. A Buddhist monk, calm eyes, voice barely a whisper, once told me, "Between the living and the dead lies a boundary so thin that a single object can cross it unnoticed." That sentence never left me, and over time I understood why. Because during a funeral, energy transforms. Everything there vibrates on a slower, heavier frequency. Every candle that burns out, every tear that falls, every garment worn in that moment absorbs that vibration. And unless that energy is cleansed, it remains alive, trapped in every fiber, in every particle of air. Imagine an invisible smoke clinging to your skin, your clothes, your belongings. It has no scent, but it weighs on you. It has no shape, but it disturbs you. What feels like a memory of grief might actually be an energetic connection to suffering itself. The ancients called it spiritual residue, a trace left by grief that, if carried back into your home, starts feeding on the vitality of your space. First comes the unexplained fatigue, then small disruptions, things breaking for no reason, plants that wither overnight, petty arguments that appear out of nowhere. Before long, your home feels taken over by a silent presence, cold, heavy, almost paralyzing, and it all begins with a single mistake, a simple, unthinking gesture, bringing something home that belonged to that fragile space between life and death. For centuries, monks and feng shui masters have warned about this, but in our modern rush, we've forgotten the language of energy, the subtle ways the world speaks to us. That's why so many people today face struggles that seem unexplainable. Money slipping away, sleepless nights, persistent fatigue, or that quiet sadness that comes out of nowhere. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is vital. There's one object in particular that acts as a bridge between two worlds. And if it crossed your front door, it could be influencing everything: your luck, your peace of mind, even the spiritual harmony of your family. But before I reveal what it is, I want you to think about something. After the last funeral you attended, did you go straight home, or did you touch someone without first cleansing your energy? Those small details, the ones that seem trivial, decide whether your house remains a sanctuary of light or becomes a doorway to energies that no longer belong here. So tell me honestly, have you ever felt your home's energy shift after a funeral? Like the air suddenly felt thicker, the silence somehow heavier, and life just stopped flowing for a while. That happens because some objects, even the most innocent ones, don't come back alone. They carry a dense frequency, a vibration that feeds on human sorrow. And once they enter your home, that energy spreads quietly like invisible fog. So, what is this object? Why is it so dangerous? And is there a way to neutralize the energy it holds? Those three questions are the key. And if you want real answers, ancient, powerful answers, you'll need to stay until the end of this video. Because what I'm revealing isn't just about the object itself. It's about how it shifts the vibration of your life, the balance within your home, and even the flow of fortune in your path. But before we go there, I want you to do something simple and powerful. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the space you're in right now. Notice the air around you, the sensations in your body, and silently repeat after me. May light protect the purity and peace of my home. Now, type those words in the comments below. I protect the purity and peace of my home. It's not just a phrase, it's a ritual, an energetic declaration that strengthens your intention to keep harmony within your walls. As you write, something shifts. The simple act of affirmation opens a new frequency, and you begin to feel a lightness, an expansion. That's the beginning of realignment. And by the time we finish this video, you'll understand why that small gesture, so simple, has already started to break the energetic link with grief. But be careful. The real danger hasn't been revealed yet, because the next part will uncover 3 mistakes almost everyone makes after a funeral. Mistakes that can open invisible doorways right inside their own homes. Are you ready to hear the first one? Then listen closely, because what I'm about to share is something most people ignore, and that ignorance is exactly what keeps them trapped in cycles of bad luck, illness, and spiritual exhaustion. The first mistake happens the moment you leave the funeral. Most people, driven by emotion and fatigue, make the same choice. They go straight home. It seems harmless, right? But energetically, it's like opening your front door and saying, "Come in, everything that followed me." The old masters called this moment the invisible corridor, that brief transition between the spiritual field of the funeral and the living energy of your home. When you walk through that corridor without cleansing yourself, you bring along what monks call residual grief energy, subtle particles of pain and longing that haven't yet dissolved. And you know what happens then? The house begins to react. The air feels still, your sleep grows restless, and your mood turns heavy. It's as if something unseen were watching quietly, waiting for a place to rest. But the second mistake is even more serious, and many make it without realizing. After a funeral, people often hug children, a gesture of comfort, yes, but energetically, it's risky, because a child's energy field is pure, open, radiant. And when it comes into contact with dense vibration, it absorbs it almost instantly. That's why monks would always say, after touching death, touch water first. Water symbolizes rebirth, a cleansing between worlds. And the third mistake is visiting another home, carrying that energy with you and leaving traces of it in a new space is like planting seeds of sadness where harmony once lived. Even a short visit can shift the balance of a home. Have you ever noticed how sometimes after someone visits, the house feels different? It's not your imagination, it's vibration. These three mistakes create invisible cracks in the energetic field, tiny openings where prosperity leaks out and unease slips in. But what's most unsettling is that all these symptoms point to one single object, an object that carries the frequency of death, and it might still be inside your home right now. In a moment, I'll reveal what it is and how to remove it before it starts to work silently against you. But when I tell you, you'll understand why almost no one suspects it. Take a deep breath, because what I'm about to reveal may sound simple, yet it's one of the oldest warnings in Buddhism and Feng Shui. And perhaps the hidden reason behind financial stagnation, sleepless nights, and that hollow feeling of emptiness in your home. The forbidden object is something almost everyone brings back without a second thought. The clothes worn to the funeral. Yes, those very same clothes you wore to say goodbye to someone you loved. To most people, they're just garments. But to spiritual masters, they are portals. Every fiber of those clothes acts like a sponge, soaking in the heavy air of mourning, the sound of tears, the touch of sorrow, and even the scent of death. And when those clothes cross the threshold of your home, they don't return empty. After decades of studying subtle energies, I noticed the same pattern repeated across hundreds of homes. People who cleaned regularly, burned sage or incense, prayed with devotion, and still said they felt a cold presence, a weight in their chest, an unshakable fatigue, and every single time, without exception, there was one small detail in common. The funeral clothes were still there, folded away, tucked in a drawer, forgotten in the back of a closet. Those clothes hold the vibration of grief. They act like invisible dust, slowly contaminating the space. You may start noticing subtle shifts. The sound of the house feels hollow. The clock seems to tick slower. The light feels dimmer. Even the plants start wilting for no reason. It's as if the life force itself begins to fade, dissolving into silence. The worst part? This contamination is almost imperceptible. It doesn't frighten you, it drains you. And once imbalance takes hold, people tend to blame fate, bad luck, or exhaustion. But the true cause is often hanging quietly in your closet. An old monk from Chiang Mai once told me something I never forgot. The clothes of farewell must be returned to the wind. He explained that once fabric comes into contact with the energy of death, it stops being neutral. It begins to vibrate at a frequency that belongs to another plane. That's why such clothes should never return to your wardrobe. They should be washed separately and burned, or left under the morning sun for 3 days until the heat and light dissolve what remains. Some ancient traditions recommend that after disposing of the clothes, you take a purifying bath, using coarse salt and a few drops of white vinegar. Others prefer herbs, rosemary, mint, or basil. What matters is breaking the energetic bridge between grief and life, between the end and the beginning. Now, imagine this. If you've attended a funeral in the past few months and those clothes are still in your home, they may be absorbing the light of the room, draining your home's energy, and blocking the natural flow of abundance. This isn't just superstition. It's vibration. It's energy field. But don't worry, because next I'll show you how to completely cleanse this energy, restore your home's vitality, and reopen the channel of prosperity. The ritual is simple, ancient, and profoundly transformative. And when you do it, you'll feel it almost instantly. The weight will lift, the air will lighten, your home will come alive again, and luck will start to flow. Are you ready to learn the ritual of complete spiritual cleansing? Then get ready, because what comes next separates those who remain trapped in the energy of death from those who finally open the door for prosperity to live within their home. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing in front of a mirror after releasing the clothes from the funeral. The reflection looks the same, but something inside you still feels different. It's subtle, a quiet weight on your back, a chill in your hands, a thought that just won't let go. That's the residue of energy caught between the body and the spirit, and now it's time to cleanse it. The ritual I'm about to share is simple, but deeply powerful. It's been passed down from master to disciple for centuries, used by monks to restore purity in both body and space, after ceremonies of death and transition. If you follow each step with true intention, the shift will be immediate. Step 1. The salt and herb bath. Fill a tub or large bowl with warm water. The temperature should feel comforting, like a gentle embrace. Add a generous handful of coarse sea salt. To the ancients, Salt wasn't just a mineral, it was a guardian of boundaries. It breaks down heavy frequencies, dissolves grief, and softens painful memories. Then add 3 herbs: rosemary, mint, and basil. Rosemary calls in light. Mint clears both the breath and the energy field. Basil restores joy and balance. Stir the water slowly, and as it moves, repeat silently in your mind, "May everything that doesn't belong to me be released into this water." Listen to the sound of the water. Let the scent of the herbs fill the air. You'll notice the space around you start to shift. There's no room for grief anymore, only restoration. Now, pour the water over your body from the neck down, in silence. Think of nothing but the sound of the water falling. Visualize a soft gray mist leaving your body, washing down the drain. That simple visualization activates your mind's energy field and amplifies the vibrational effect of the ritual. When you finish, put on clean, light-colored clothes, white, beige, or pale blue. These tones help stabilize your frequency. Avoid conversation for a few minutes. Just sit quietly and breathe. It's in that stillness that the purification settles. Step 2. Cleansing the space. Now, cleanse your home itself. Open the windows, even if it's cloudy outside. Natural light is the first food of living energy. Then, light an incense stick, sandalwood or lavender, are ideal. They bridge the mind and the spirit. Move slowly through the corners of your home, visualizing each wisp of smoke transforming shadows into light. The faint crackle of burning incense is the sound of your home breathing again. Finally, ring a small bell or clap your hands 3 times in every room. Sound breaks stagnation and awakens the vital flow. You'll notice the difference almost instantly. The air shifts, your body relaxes, your mind feels lighter. If you want to amplify the effect, write in the comments right now. I release my home from sadness and open the path to prosperity. Each word you type becomes an energetic seed. And that act of affirmation turns thought into real power. Remember, the ritual doesn't end here. There's one final step, the most sacred of all. One that purifies not just your body and your home, but your soul itself. A gesture that, according to the monks, can restore spiritual balance in less than 24 hours. Do you want to know what it is? Then stay with me, because the next step reveals the ultimate secret of total purification. Now that your body and spirit are clear, it's time for the most powerful phase of all, the cleansing of your home. There is no prosperity where the air feels heavy, no harmony where energy lies asleep. And perhaps you've never noticed it, but your walls hold memories, laughter, arguments, fear, fatigue, and sometimes the lingering sorrow of those who've passed on. They breathe, and sometimes they suffocate. So before we begin, pause for a moment and look around you. Feel what your space is saying. There are rooms that feel light, and others where, for no clear reason, the air feels dense and unmoving. Those are the pockets of trapped energy. And that's where this ritual must begin. Take a handful of coarse salt and mix it with warm water and white vinegar. This is not just a physical cleanse, it's symbolic. Salt represents the purification of the earth. Vinegar cuts through old energy, and water is the water, the element that flows, that carries away what no longer belongs. Dip a clean cloth into the mixture and begin wiping every corner of your home, starting from the front door. As you move, repeat silently in your mind, may all stagnant energy leave this space, and may only light remain. You might feel a soft chill, a gentle breeze, or even a deep, quiet stillness. These are signs that your home is responding. If you feel the urge to open the windows, do it. Let the air move freely. Let it carry away what's been trapped for too long. Then light a white candle. Place it in the center of your home on a glass dish filled with a bit of salt and water. The flame represents awareness. Fire consumes the dense and awakens what has been asleep. As you watch the flame flicker, imagine it burning away every trace of sorrow, every ounce of guilt, every energy that no longer serves you. Slowly, begin to visualize your home filling with a golden light, warm, bright, and welcoming. That's the vibration of prosperity returning. Now take a small bell or simply clap your hands 3 times in each room. Sound is powerful. It shatters invisible blocks and reactivates the flow of chi, the vital force that sustains balance and abundance. With every sound, imagine the energy in your home realigning, as if a gentle breeze were passing through the furniture, the curtains, the floors, breathing life back into everything it touches. When you're done, sit quietly for a moment. Take a deep breath and say, I restore the light within my home. I bless this space with peace and prosperity. You'll feel something shift. Maybe the air will feel lighter. Maybe a wave of relief will wash over you. Maybe even the silence will sound different. That's how you know the ritual worked. The energy has transformed. But there's still one final secret, a step that almost no one knows, the seal of protection used by ancient monks. To make sure that heavy energies never find their way back in, this is the most important moment of the ritual. So take your time, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just the end of a cleansing, it's the beginning of a new vibration in your life. When the flame finally fades, you'll notice the silence in your home feels different, like the air has been washed clean, and even your footsteps sound softer. But there's still something left to do. You must seal the energy, so it stays anchored, protecting your home and multiplying everything good that flows through it. The old masters called this moment the seal of continuity, because this is where the energy you've awakened becomes lasting. And the secret is simple, spoken gratitude. If you can, kneel down. Place your right hand on the floor and, with your eyes closed, whisper softly, gratitude to the earth that holds my home. Gratitude to the light that purifies. Gratitude to the energy that is reborn. Repeat it 3 times. Not as a routine prayer, but as a heartfelt whisper rising from within. As you speak, imagine a golden light flowing from your palm, spreading across the floor like radiant roots. See them weaving beneath your feet, under the walls, through the foundation, and up to the ceiling, until your entire home is wrapped in a soft, invisible shield. That is your energetic armor, the protection that keeps density from returning. In that moment, you'll notice something subtle. The silence is no longer silence. It's presence, a living, breathing peace you can almost feel. That's how you know the cycle is complete. The sadness has been released to the wind. The energy has been purified, and your home is once again in harmony with the flow of prosperity. Now, pay attention to what happens in the coming days. You might see small signs, an unexpected bit of money, a conversation that opens new doors, a dream filled with water or light. These are the signals that the flow of abundance has been reactivated. And when they appear, remember to give thanks, because gratitude is the fuel of prosperity. If this ritual resonated with you, share this video with someone who needs light. You're not just sharing content, you're spreading healing energy. And write in the comments right now, I choose calm, clarity, and prosperity. Those words, written with intention, create a spiritual anchor. They tell the universe that you don't just want to protect yourself. You're ready to evolve, to grow, and to vibrate in the frequency of abundance. And if you feel that this ancient wisdom has touched something deep within you, subscribe to the channel. Here, we'll continue to uncover the hidden secrets of feng shui and the teachings of the ancient masters, so that every new video becomes an opportunity to awaken your spiritual power and transform your destiny. Remember this: a funeral marks the end of one journey, but for those who remain, it is also the birth of a new light. Today, you have ignited that light, and from this moment on, it will never fade again.